And with this breaking news, rescuers are looking over the wreckage of a deadly plane crash in Carroll County. You see a live picture right there from News Chopper 2. Firefighters confirmed 3 people died in what looks to be a mid-air collision. Jason Durden joins us live right now from News Chopper 2. And Jason, it appears that 2 planes collided here, and it also seems it's just off the runway from our vantage point here. What can you tell us?
That's right. The West Georgia Regional Airport here, the Carrollton Airport, pretty small airport. As I widen it out here, you can see that's it for the airport, that one runway, which is closed down right now. So the airport is not in operation at this time. So this crash happened right off the end of that runway, and we've just gotten word from the FAA that confirms to us that this was a mid-air collision between 2 single-engine aircraft, one a Diamond aircraft DA-20C1 and a Beech F-33A. They collided in midair here over the airport and ended up, both aircraft are really on top. One is on top of the other one here at the end of this runway here at the West Georgia Regional Airport. And as Fred mentioned, 3 people have lost their lives in this crash. No word on the identity of the victims at this time. We'll be working to get that information from the local Carroll County authorities right now, and no word exactly on why these 2 aircraft collided in midair here over the airport. This airport does not have a tower, so it does not have air traffic controllers coming in and out of this airport's pilots rely on each other on what's called a unicom, a shared frequency that the airport has. And on that radio frequency, that's when planes announce that they're taking off or landing or in the area of the airport. So not controlled by an air traffic controller. The FAA and the NTSB will be investigating this crash. And as soon as we get any new information on this, we'll bring it to you. We're live over Carroll County in News Chopper 2. Jason Durden, Channel 2 Action News.
Jason, right now you're our eyes and ears out there, and we know information is coming in bit by bit here. But once again, exactly how far is that wreckage from the runway?
Well, as far as how many feet or so, I'm not sure on that, but you can see right here through my shot on News Chopper 2, it's not far off the end of the runway here at the West Georgia Regional Airport, Fred.
Jason, you mentioned before there's no tower out there, no air traffic control, so basically the pilots are on their own trying to navigate the area. I always like to remind people of your experience in the sky and basically talk about that, the perils of that and how it normally plays out.
Well, normally, Fred, at airports such as this one, there's not a whole lot of traffic in and out of the airport. Certainly nothing like Peachtree to Cab or the airports around Metro Atlanta. So it rarely is a problem that these airfields don't have a tower and aren't controlled by an air traffic controller. Just the scant number of flights that are in and out of these airports really mean that usually when somebody's taking off, there's not many other people around, or vice versa when they're landing. Same story. So right now we don't know what was going on with these 2 aircraft. We don't know if one of them was taking off or one landing, or were they both in the air circling trying to land. That's all up in the air right now. We'll have to wait for the FAA and the NTSB to come out with those findings. But like I said, a pilot sitting on the end of the runway here getting ready to take off, he'll get on that unicom frequency and they'll just announce. They'll just get on there and they'll announce their aircraft type and say that they're getting ready to take off. They'll say what direction they plan on going. And that's the same thing for a plane that might be coming in to land at one of these uncontrolled airports. They'll get on that unicom frequency. They'll give their position location, say if they're northwest or east or what of the airport, what direction they are from the airport, and then that'll be coming in and which way they're coming in for a landing. And a lot of that depends, too, on the winds, not to get into too much of how pilots do their jobs there. But so it's all usually a very innocuous thing. They just announce they're landing or they're taking off, and there are usually no problems. It's very rare that we, as a matter of fact, I'm trying to think back into the many aircraft crashes that I've covered over the years, and I really can't off the top of my head remember a mid-air collision that happened at one of these uncontrolled airports. It's usually a single airplane crash that we see, when there's a mechanical problem or something with the aircraft. But it's very rare for us to see these mid-air collisions at these airports, Fred.
And Jason Durden right now is above, in News Chopper 2, above that crash, a deadly mid-air collision crash. And we see, Jason just said that basically the planes are on top of one another, and we're keeping a safe distance, not trying to show too much here. As we know, 3 people are dead after this plane crash. Jason, after all your years in the sky covering news, I know this has to just hurt your heart when you see something like this.
It certainly does, Fred, and I've been around the aviation community for going on 30 years now. Next year will be 30 years that I've been flying in aircraft around in helicopters around Metro Atlanta. So it really does give you pause when you're covering something like this. Of course, many stories that we cover do that, but especially on these aircraft, I'm around these aircraft throughout the day, 5 days a week, and many times 6 days a week. So a lot of my time is spent at the airport and around pilots, and it just really does give you pause, and really for us makes us wonder exactly what went wrong here. We'd like to know exactly what happened here, and of course that's something we have to wait to hear.
Jason, thank you.